Hey, what's up? My name is Severman and welcome back to another video on my channel. So a lot of you guys have been requesting a walkthrough of the project file of my track Runaway, which just came out like a few weeks ago on Dzone Records. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's jump right into the FLP. So this is the project file right here. So it's not too big actually, pretty like straightforward actually. Like there aren't like a whole lot of things in this project, to be honest, but yeah, that's what we'll be talking about today. So in the break, it's also actually pretty straightforward. So in the beginning of the break, we have like three main elements, namely the vocal, the acoustic guitar which I added, and we have like another like ARP synth. So this is the vocal which I used in this track, and I think I got it from like a Ultimate Progressive House Vocals Volume 2 pack from Wrecked, I think it's called. And yeah, like the vocal solely sounds like that.
I see the constellations. They remind me that this life cannot be lost forever.
Yeah, so this is the effect chain for the vocal, and as you can see, there are like quite a lot of effects on it. And this is something which I always try to kind of do, is I use actually only stock plugins from FL Studio. So as you can see, all of them are literally stock plugins from FL Studio. And what I just want to show you is that you can make great like effects in FL Studio. Like all the effects that FL Studio comes along with are great. Like, you know, I always see a lot of producers using like expensive plugins from, I don't know, Waves or whatever, you know, and of course these plugins are great, but you can also work without them. Like they're not needed to make like a professional track. So what I want to show you is that you can also have like a professional track with like stock plugins only. So as you can see, we have some like EQing over here, low and high cut, which I started with on this like effect chain. So I always put the high cut at 16k hertz and the low cut is at 140 hertz. On this vocal. This always depends on the vocal, and also like usually like with male vocals, I wouldn't set the low cut too high, because obviously like with male vocals you have like some more lower frequencies. So if you have like a female vocalist, you might want to consider cutting even higher, like I don't know, up to 200 hertz, maybe plus minus. And then we got some reverb right here, compressor to just, you know, reduce the dynamic range of the vocal a bit, to kind of even it out overall, to have it like on the same volume levels overall. And then we got a P controller and a delay. So with the P controller, I'm basically controlling the wet signal. So if you take a look,
I see the constellations.
so basically the delay is only there when the actual vocal is not playing, so that you don't have the delay interfering with the dry signal. Yeah, and then we got like two fruity balance, which I like only use for volume automation. And this one is also muted. So we pretty much just have like an EQ, reverb, compressor, delay, and that's already it. And the vocal sounds pretty good to me. Then let's check out the acoustic guitar. So this one solely sounds like that. I really like this one. It's like really nice, calm, but really warm vibe to the break. Really like this one. And what I did with this one, I first of all pitched it down by 2 semitones. So originally the guitar sounded like that. But this didn't suit the key of my track, so that's why I pitched it down.
Constellations, they remind me that this life can.
You know, and as you can see, just with the guitar and the vocals already, you have like already like the whole vibe of the break. So it's just these two elements that really kind of make the beginning of the break. And then in order to like fill it out a little more, because I didn't want to have like an acoustic track, you know. So to fill it out a little more, I added this like ARP synth right here, which solely sounds like that. As you can hear, it has like a lot of reverb in order to kind of really put it far away in the mix. And this is like something which I try to often do because this really helps to separate it from the rest of your elements. Like in this case, from especially the vocal, to kind of really separate it from the vocal. And yeah, like this one is from Silent One. It's actually a pad. So yeah, I use this pad for like an ARP. So this one plays these notes right here. And yeah, like let's check out the effects chain of this one as well. So there's nothing crazy right here. It's only just like the fruity stereo enhancer to really widen it up as well. This also helps to separate it from the vocal. And I like the side chain. And that's pretty much already it with like the beginning of the break. The rest is just like some effect sounds like this one. Kind of really make the transitions work and nice, kind of glue it a bit more together. And then let's move on to like the next part in the break where I added like a beat to it.
I watch my generation.
So yeah, let me show you those drums that I added. So first of all, we got this right here. And then I added this loop right here to it as well. As well as a snap, another one, and then we got also a kick drum. And then besides that, I also added like a second ARP to it, and this one sounds like that. And then the rest is again like those effect sounds right here. And there you go.
This world will soon be gone. Will soon be gone. Can we leave for tonight? Run away.
And then in this next section, which I just played to you right now, I basically start to introduce like most of the stuff from the drop in order to, you know, build the track up and to build that like tension. And first of all, let me show you the sub bass. So I added basically the sub bass to the break. And then on top of this one, I'm introducing the mid bass with a low pass filter automation, which is this one. So this one opens up, as you can see. And then same story with the chords. But then I also added like more organic type of chords because these chords in pattern 6 right here are like saw kind of chords. But I will actually show you all the individual layers later when we add the drop. And yeah, then I added like some more organic type of chords which are like actually open, so the low pass filters are not affecting these chords right here. And then the rest is like these effect sounds right here, like which are like some impact sounds. And then I added like some ambience. Then I also added like another up, which I actually added from my track I Go Crazy. As well as like a voice type of sound. In this section I added snares, etc. and like uplifters to it to really build that suspense before the drop. And actually what I forgot, I of course also introduced like the leads in the break right here. And they sound like that. I just bounce them out so that like the computer is not like going nuts. So these are opening up with a low pass filter as well. Now let's head over to the drop. And so that is the drop. And now let me start with the different lead layers. So for the leads, I use this pattern, the pattern 10. So all these sounds right here are for the leads. So we got like some Spire presets right here. And then I also used this instance of flex, which is like a violin or like a viola, whatever, viola staccato. And then also like a Nexus, like a guitar type of sound. And the leads are all going to channel 4, so channel 4 is my lead bus channel. So all the channels that I put on here are affecting all different layers. So this first one is there to only like widen them up a bit. And then the second one is like some equalizing, which is always like very individual. That depends on the sounds that you have. And yeah, then we got low and high cut right here. Some sausage fattener to just raise the volume a bit overall. A fruity balance to automate the volume, and then I got this P controller, which I'm using now in combination with the fruity reverb. So like same story here as with the delay on the vocals. When there's like dry signal, basically the wet signal is being ducked, as you can see. And yeah, then like the low pass filter for the automation and the breaks, and the sidechain right here. So it's like the Nicky Romero preset, the first one at 50%. And that's it with like all the effects for the leads. And now let me show you the bass line. So for the sub bass, I use this Spire preset right here. And then for the mid basses, I used these two Spire presets. And then for the effects on the bassline, I basically have like a filter for the sub bass, just for like automation, as well as this sidechain, the Grosbeat I used here. And yeah, then on the mid basses, I have this EQ to cut away the lower frequencies, you know, because I have the sub bass taking care of everything below those, what is it, like 110 Hertz right here. And then I used this isotope ozone imager because like this time I actually did not use the stereo enhancer from FL Studio because I only wanted to widen certain bands in the, yeah, like in the frequency spectrum of the mid basses. So as you can see, I only, or I actually spreaded them differently. So as you can see, for example, with this second band, which is like going from 450 Hertz to 10K Hertz, I spreaded them like crazy actually. And then below those 450, I actually made it a bit more mono-ish. And then the third band above 10K Hertz is also like a little bit spread out. And then again, we got this low pass filter for the automation, as well as the Grosbeat for the sidechain. Then let me show you all of the chords. So these are like the saw chords, which I have. And it's literally just like a basic saw preset I made myself in Sound 1 right here. And this one goes to channel 6. And on channel 6 we got again some EQing, like I'm just boosting the highs right here, and then below the high pass filter again. And with this one I also like rolled the lower ones a bit off. So I didn't make the cuts straight like that, but I rolled them off a bit to make it even a bit more clean. And yeah, then we got some P controller again for the reverb, then the Grosbeat for sidechain again, as well as the low filter for the low pass filter automation. And then we got this piano right here, which also plays the chords. And this one, as you can tell, is also like really kind of, like it has a lot of reverb. And this one goes to channel 23. And on here I have this EQ, so low and high cut again, same story. The reverb to kind of, you know, push it really into the background. So as you can see, the dry signal is reduced by a lot actually. So it appears like really wet far away. And then, so if I actually show you what without the reverb, it would sound like that. And again with the reverb. And then we got again a stereo enhancer to widen it up a bit more. And this compressor was muted, so I didn't use this one. And then sidechain again, this one is the Nicky Romero one again. And we got even more chords right here. So this is like a string preset from the FL Studio plugin Flex again. And this one goes to channel 7. And on channel 7 I have this EQ, so with this one I also rolled off those lower frequencies. A stereo enhancer again to really widen it up. And a fruity reverb for a bit of reverb on this one. And then again Nicky Romero's kickstart for sidechain. And then in this section right here we got like some downlifters and effects sounds like a crash right here, so these sound like that. So what these do, they just have to fill out the mix a bit more because they add some nice high end to the drop, and they also add a little bit more energy to it. Because if you would take them away, you would realize, okay, there is something missing, but it's like not something obvious which is missing. So you always need to have like some kind of downlifters or just something that adds a bit of high end to it and which also releases all that nice high end. And then we got like some type of tom sound or like a percussion right here. And what's special about this one is that I panned this one. So this automation clip right here is for the panning. So as you can see, like this one is panned a little to one side, and then this second one hitting right after this one is panned a bit to the other side. So with this I felt just added a bit more like variation, or it just made it a bit more interesting, I feel like, with the panning. And then actually together with the kick drum, this percussion sounds like that. And then the rest is like some claps right here and more FX sounds. And then again we got this ARP from the break again, as well as like the voice sound and this other ARP which I have. And that's it with the drop. So as you can see, it's not actually too complicated. It's always just about finding the right sounds, especially for like your drums, you know, the kick drum, and also for like your melody, the leads and the bass line. It just needs to work together, because if you pick the wrong sounds, there's no way you actually can mix them down, like make them work together if they don't actually originally work together, you know, without any processing. And then what's special about the second break is that I actually kept it on like one bass note, because I didn't want to just repeat the first break. So this way I also added a bit more of variation into my track. And yeah, just check out the second break.
I see the constellations They remind me that this life cannot be lost forever.
As you might be able to tell, I also added a vocoder underneath the vocals, and the vocoder sounds like that. And how I did that was I basically added a synth and basically routed the vocals and the synth to one channel on which I have the vocoder, or like the vocodecs from FL Studio. So it's this one right here. And for the synth, I basically came up with this chord right here, which also just like staying on, like, you know, these notes right here. And so for the synth, I basically just use, again, like a simple saw wave right here from side 1. And so both the vocals and the synth are routed to this channel right here again with the vocodecs. And this one basically allows you to create this robotic vocoder effect. And then after the vocodecs, I have this equalizer in order to roll off the highs as well as the lows, because I didn't want to like have it too aggressive. So this one kind of really puts it also like into the background, helps making it a bit like less harsh.
Life cannot be lost forever.
So yeah, then like the rest of the elements are basically the same from like the first break, just that like everything's on that one note. So we got the bass line and what is like the ARP I showed you in the beginning. And yeah, then like we're going back into like the more melodic part after that.
Can we leave for tonight? Run away. Let's run away, run, run. Can we get away? Run away, run, run, run away.
And the difference here to like in the first break is that I also have like a kick drum in here and claps as well. And the claps are like introduced with a low pass filter as well. And I got like the chords opening up again. And then we basically drop into this part again with like the leads and kind of like, you know, that long build up before the second drop. What's really special about this one is like the chords that I have in here. So as you can see, if you take a look at the chords, they're basically kind of climbing up the scale or like the piano roll, I don't know how to say. And this kind of really makes it special in a way, but like it also makes it really emotional, I don't know. And yeah, then I also added again the vocal to that second build up and I just looped it.
Run away, run, run, run away, run, run, run away, run, run, run away, run, run, run away, run, run.
And then we are at the second drop.
Run away.
And that's pretty much it with this FLP or with the track already. So if you like this walkthrough, let me know in the comments, leave a like as well. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.